Hey guys, this is Jasur from Shanghai Silk Road, and today in this video I'd like to talk about some of the reasons why you should incorporate your company exactly in Shanghai. So let's start. Alright, number one reason I think is Shanghai is one of the most international cities in mainland China, if not the most. Why do I say that? Because when you come to Shanghai, it's pretty common for local people, even for the government officials to speak English. It's pretty common. And comparatively, this is an advantage, okay? Why? Because as entrepreneurs, we don't want to face language barriers a lot. So that's why if you speak English, it's very easy for you to run your company in Shanghai. Another reason is there's a huge foreign startup community in Shanghai. For example, if you come with your team here, it's easy for you to find startup events organized by those startup communities, and it's very easy to find incubators, accelerators. Oh, by the way, one of the most famous accelerators in China, China Accelerator, is located in Shanghai. Okay, and there are other tons of other different incubators, startup incubators and accelerators you can find. And there's also angel investors and venture capitalists that you can find if you're seeking investment. And they invest both the local startups and foreign-owned startups, which is very hard to find in different parts of China. And another huge advantage is when it comes to getting your visa as a business owner, it's very easy. It will be comparatively easier. Why? Because when you go to the government offices for your visa extension or filing your visa application, the government officials speak English. More or less, they speak English. They're not fluent, but they do speak English, and which is a good thing as well. Another reason why I think you should start your business here is because Shanghai is one of the 4 municipalities, meaning that it's a preferred region when it comes to implementing new laws and policies in China. For example, recently, like it's been a couple of years, China introduced entrepreneurship visa for entrepreneurs, especially the graduates from Chinese universities in tier 1 cities. And Shanghai was the number 1 city that they started this law. Actually, they started trying this kind of visa, and only after a couple of years they are doing it in different parts of different cities of tier 1. For example, like they started using that kind of visa in Wuhan now, and in Beijing and Shenzhen. But before that, like a couple of years ago, Shanghai started that. Okay, so Shanghai was number 1. So if your business is located in Shanghai, you get to enjoy this kind of new policies or incentives from the government before they spread to other parts of China. All right. Another reason why is it's not secret that Shanghai has this port, which is a very good element, very important element for people who want to do import and export business. So this port, for example, in 2017, Shanghai container port was was the busiest in the world. Okay, if you look at the statistics, it was the busiest in the world in terms of handling containers. Okay, it handled 40.23 million 20-foot equivalent units, okay, which are TEUs. All right, so that's a huge number. So meaning that Shanghai container port is, I haven't checked the recent statistic, but the latest one was 2017, but I'm pretty sure that it still holds the number 1 position in terms of being the busiest port in the world. So that is a huge sign. That is a very important sign for people who want to do import and export business in China. So if you register your company here in Shanghai, it's easier for you to get advantage to enjoy some of the benefits that the Shanghai port offers. Another reason is Shanghai is China's financial center. It's no secret, of course, but we have to consider this a very important element. Why? Because as a financial center of China, it's got a number of companies headquarters situated in this city. For example, in 2017 again, there were 1,491 financial institutions. of which 251 were foreign invested. Okay, and another point here is People's Bank of China. They actually set up one of their headquarters in Shanghai, not in Beijing, especially in marketing operations. Okay, so that is situated in Shanghai, not in Beijing or any other tier 1 city, and that makes Shanghai's role as a financial center in China very important. Also, another reason is FDI. We cannot ignore this element. Why? Because foreign direct investment is actually one of the reasons why to consider why you should incorporate your company in any certain city. So in terms of FDI, Shanghai accounted for about 13% of China's total FDI, utilized FDI. And that is a huge sign as well why you should incorporate your company in Shanghai. Another reason why is consumer market. Shanghai is the largest consumer market among all mainland China cities. Okay, that's a fact. And why? Because again, Shanghai's population is a lot educated, is a lot wealthy comparatively to other parts of China, and probably that's why they're more driven to big brands, etc., etc. They are like there's a success rate if you're entering to Chinese market from Shanghai. The success rate is huge actually. So you can introduce your products to Shanghai local consumer market, and then comparatively your journey will be easier to become successful. So another reason I want to include this comes from our company. Setting up company costs in Shanghai is going to be very, very low, because obviously I mentioned this in other videos of ours. Like all the foreign companies, WFOEs registered in China, they are required to have a physical office. So in that aspect, coming from that part, your cost is going to be lower if you do the registration process through us, because we own 2 buildings in Shanghai. You can actually easily rent an office from our building, which the costs will be very, very cheap if you compare it to other parts of China. For example, I'm going to give you an estimate. For example, if you rent an office from our building, it's going to be only between 7 and 15,000 RMB a year, okay, depending on the office. And that is a very, very cheap price if you think about like physical office. It's not a virtual office, okay? So again, all the WFOEs are required to have a physical office. So in that aspect, between 6 and 15,000 RMB a year, that's a very, very low price in China. All right. And if you register your company in Guangzhou, for example, in Shenzhen, it's very, very hard for you to find an office, a physical office for even 5,000 RMB a month. And if you like add it up, it's going to cost you around 60,000 RMB a year, and that's a huge number. And the last point is, again, if you do your company registration through us, getting a work visa through your company is going to be comparatively easier in Shanghai. Why? Because we work with the local governments of some of the free economic zones here, and that's why we are kind of a part of the project to attract foreign direct investment. And that's why it's easier for us to apply, for us to help our clients to get work visa in Shanghai than other parts of China. And for example, in Guangzhou, and Guangzhou is a tier 1 city, or Shenzhen, it's very, very hard for foreign entrepreneurs to get 1-year visa. Why? Probably because they are marketplace cities. Yiwu, even they are marketplace cities, and a lot of foreigners go there and register companies, and they just want to be located there. And that's why probably government tries to restrict the number of companies coming in there. And this is one of the reasons. It's really hard for random entrepreneur, for especially the new entrepreneurs who don't have any background in business, or individual investors. It's very hard to get work visa for 1 year. Initially they give you for 6 months or 3 months, and then After that, you have to apply for extension. But in Shanghai, you can get 1 year visa from the start. But again, it really depends on your qualifications, on your profile. But comparatively, in general terms, it's easier for you to get a 1 year work visa in Shanghai than other parts of China. So basically, these are some of the reasons, guys. And except these reasons, of course, Shanghai, life in Shanghai in general is like any other developed city in the world. Like in New York, Shanghai has been called like Paris of the East. And you can compare it to any metropolis city in the world. Basically, you get to enjoy, very diverse lifestyle here. You can find a lot of foreign restaurants if you come from, foreign, Western countries, or if you come from like Asian countries, you can find a lot of Asian cuisine restaurants. Basically, Shanghai offers everything that any developed city offers. And it's a mixture of cultures. There's a ton of Western culture here. There's a of course a local culture, and as I mentioned, most of the locals, they speak good English, and in that aspect, you won't have any problems in day-to-day life, like dealing with your problems. And there's a lot of private schools if you have kids. Foreign schools like American school, Canadian school, German schools. It's very easy to find. And plus, there are lots of private hospitals. If you don't speak Chinese, especially when you're sick, you can go to one of these private hospitals, and they accept insurance as well. So yeah, pretty much everything, guys. Let us know if you have any specific questions regarding doing business in China, in Shanghai. We would like to help you. And if you have questions, you can either send us an email or leave in the comment section below. And basically, that's it for today. We're happy to help you. Thanks very much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you like this video, don't forget to share it with your friends. See you guys next time.